To use the safety features of the RCX3-SMU, the parameters must be set correctly. In this video, we will explain the parameters of the SMU that deal with the end effector and area monitoring. The end effector parameters define the monitoring range of the end effectors, which are attached to the tip of the robot arm. Any point within a specified rectangular range, which includes the end effector, will be monitored for position and speed. These are the parameters related to the end effector. If end effector enable parameter is equal to 1, enabled, the end effector is monitored by using the parameter below. If you are using the robot arm with this kind of end effector installed on the tip, set the parameter so that the end effector is fully included in the area. The vertices of the rectangular area to be monitored are assumed to be TIP1 to TIP4, and one of these points is used as TCP, which is the origin of the coordinate system of the monitoring range. For the TCP offset XYR parameter, set the offset value of the monitoring range coordinate system relative to the coordinate system in which the direction of the robot tip axis is 0 degrees. For the end effector size XY parameter, set the X and Y direction size of the monitoring range, rectangular area, in the X and Y directions, within the coordinate system of the end effector monitoring range. When using a SCARA robot, you can set the monitoring range only for the end effector tip, which narrows down the monitoring range. When only the tip of the end effector is set as the monitoring range, the area inside the dotted line in this diagram, between the set monitoring range and the robot, is also monitored. Please set the end effector so that it does not protrude beyond the set monitoring range or the dotted line between the monitoring range and the robot. You can use a dedicated wizard to configure the end effector parameters. Double-click SMU in the window tree to open the SMU parameters. Click on End Effector to start the End Effector wizard. Follow the message and click Next. Align one point of the end effector to the tip jig, and click Next. Change the angle of the R-axis by approximately 120 degrees. Align the same point of the end effector with the tip jig, and click Next. Change the angle of the R-axis again by approximately 120 degrees. Align the same point of the end effector with the tip jig, and click Next. Follow the message and click Next. A message will appear that asks you to align the jig tip with the corner or the protruding parts of the end effector. Click Next, align the end effector corner or protruding part with the jig tip and then register. The white dot at the center of the diagram in the wizard indicates the robot's tip position, and the yellow dot indicates the end effector's external shape that is registered. After registering the end effector's external shape, click Next. Select the point to be used as the TCP coordinate origin, and click Next to show the calculated results. Click Finish to set the end effector parameters of the SMU parameter to the calculated results. Area monitoring is a feature that executes SS1R/T if the robot moves out of the area that is specified by the area monitoring parameters. The robot's area is monitored by monitoring both the XY coordinate plane and the movement limits, soft limits, of each axis. Note that XY area monitoring is only applicable to SCARA robots, and is not done with Cartesian robots. These are the parameters related to area monitoring. The arm width parameter specifies the joint radius for each robot axis. This parameter is only valid for XY area monitoring. This monitors whether the robot arm is within the XY range, targeted at the specified thickness. Arm width 3 specifies the radius of the spline shaft and arm width 4 specifies the radius of the flange, but these can be left at 0 if the end effector setting is valid and within the end effector's area. The area limit parameter is used to set the area for XY area monitoring. XY area monitoring is valid only for SCARA robots. When the monitored part that is set by the end effector and arm width parameters goes outside the specified monitoring area, SS1R/T is executed. Specify a rectangular XY area by limiting the area to X plus, Y plus, X minus and Y minus, with the robot's origin coordinates as center. You cannot set an area that does not include the robot's origin coordinates. Up to 2 monitoring areas can be set. When monitoring with both at the same time, the robot can be made to operate only for the part defined by either of these areas. When the robot protrudes from both Area 1 and Area 2, it is considered to be outside the area, even if the monitored part is in Area 1 and Area 2. The area soft limit parameters set the upper and lower limits of the motor pulse position monitoring for each axis of the robot. Soft limit monitoring can be set for both SCARA robots and Cartesian robots. That is all for explanation of the parameters that deal with the end effector and area monitoring.